Hello, welcome back. As you can see, I have Scammell Pioneer, British Scammell Pioneer. It's a tank transporter with a 30-ton trailer on it. I wanted one of these for a while, but I've never got around to buying one. My wife's bought it for my birthday and I'm very happy with it. It's a Thunder model. I haven't as yet put together a Thunder model. I've had a very brief look inside it and it looks to be fine. It looks to be clever stuff. The box is superb. If the box is anything like if the kit is anything like the box, it'll be a fantastic kit. Nice bit of box art on the top there. It wants a 35 scale. It has a picture of a Scammell Pioneer wrecker for some reason on the side, and it gives you a little bit of information about the wrecker. I'm not going to the tractor and its evolution from a 20-ton Pioneer. I'm not going to read all that to you. If you buy the model, you'll be able to read it yourself. Developed in partnership with Capricorn Publications. I think this is a magazine, not a magazine, a book about Scammell Pioneers. I might see if I can get one of those. It sounds quite interesting. Bit more box art on the side. It's the same picture, just a bit smaller. What we got? A little bit more information on the side there. It says there's 600 plus plastic parts, slide moulded detail, faithfully reproduced and highly detailed chassis, winch and trailer, accurately moulded engine, cab and full interior, plastic tyres. I would much prefer to have rubber tyres, but there you go. Doors and windows can assembly close or open, fully workable suspension. That's nice. That'll be good for the diorama that I intend to put it on. Sorry, that light's actually making it hard to see, isn't it? Let's see. There we go. That might be a bit better. What I was saying then, fully workable suspension. It's going on a diorama, so the workable suspension might well come in handy. 3D decal options, and then the usual paint and glues aren't included. Same as the other end, that one. Yep, both ends are the same. On the bottom, there's a bit of detail of, can you get it in there? Yeah, I can, that's better. Of other kits in the Thunder model series. There's two more Scammell Pioneers. A German steam locomotive, the BR80. I built nearly 2 years ago, maybe a bit more now, a BR52, which is similar to that. It's a beautiful model at 135. Railway wagon, and for those of you that like them, an Indiana motorcycle. So yeah, that could be interesting. Yes, this is a book. It'd be quite interesting to read that. But there you go. Only if you're interested in the Scammell British Truck Scammell series. Right, what's inside? First off, you've got a set of instructions. That's for the trailer. Put those down for a second. And that's for the tractor, which is a tad unusual because they came out of the factory as one unit. They would fasten together permanently, but that doesn't matter. You've got painting diagrams and where the decals would go. 1st Armoured Division, North Africa. That's probably where I'm going to set it, because that's what I've done with the other vehicle that's going on the diorama with it. You may have seen the video of that. It's a Ford quad tractor with a limber and a gun, 25-pound British field gun. There's a couple of other markings on it there. I don't know what that one is, and it doesn't actually tell you. Some more on the back. Unknown unit, North Africa. Do you know, I would say that was a German camouflage paint job, but that's only my opinion. The Germans did capture British vehicles and use them, and the British did capture German vehicles and use them, so it could well be a British one that's been captured and then used as a German vehicle. And an American version at the bottom here. Workshop Dunkirk, November 19. So that's from Dunkirk, the American one, and that's about all it tells you really. Gives you an idea of what to paint and where to paint. I'll just close this down for a sec while we have a look at the instructions. Oh wait a minute, we've got some more paintwork here. Again, this is for the trailer this time. Unknown unit in North Africa. The American one for the trailer. It's basically exactly the same, isn't it? The 1st Armoured Division, North Africa, and no name on the bottom one. But there you go. So that's those. Let's put them out of the way. Okay, instructions. Lots of foreign writing. I made a mistake. I said a Tamiya. It was Chinese writing, and of course it's not. It's Japanese writing. So apologies to anybody I may have offended for that with that, and that was on the last kit I built. So I don't know if these are, I think it's made in China. It says made in China, so I'm fairly certain that this is in Chinese. That tells you it's the standard stuff, isn't it? Cut and remove, drill hole, no glue, bend. Let's see what's inside. Oh, build the engine first. There you go. And it's a Gardner engine now, I can tell straight away. I've driven many a Gardner engine. The first one I drove was a Gardner 120. I don't think this is... There we go. 102 brake horsepower Gardner. So it's slightly smaller than the first one I ever drove. And superb engine. Marine engines and truck engines, very, very similar. So it tells you how to build the engine first, and that doesn't seem to be too complicated at all, that does it? 3 or 4 pieces put together and a couple of pulleys. Manifold on the side, 6-cylinder manifold on the side. Then goes on to show you how to mount the springs on the front of the chassis members, gearbox, winches, mount the engine inside the chassis members, differentials put together at the bottom here, section 10. Then how to put the differentials and the winches into the chassis. It's a flat differential, and I'm guessing that flat differential there is for the cables to run past it from the winch. It looks a sturdy old winch, that, doesn't it? But then again, if it's going to pull a 30-ton tank up onto the bed, it needs to be. It's a sturdy old 5th wheel coupling, that, as well. It's not really a 5th wheel. As I say, these came out of the factory as one unit. The trailer was connected to the tractor unit, so that's that piece there that goes on there. You can see what it's put onto there. So that's fairly simple enough. I don't see where 600 parts come in on this, to be honest. It then goes on to building the floor of the cab. On these, the very first trucks I ever drove, younger lads now won't believe it, but they were wooden floors. Those floors were wooden, and although I never drove one with a wooden floor, I was with a wooden floor, and if the floorboards don't fit together quite right, you're watching tarmac flashing past you at good old speed. So yeah, the floor was made of wood, and it would have just sat on the chassis. And it tells you how here, I digress. It tells you how to mount the cab. It looks really quite complicated there, doesn't it, with the cabin chassis and the engine, the 5th wheel. As I say, you can tell the differential is flat underneath there, and that's so that cables can run past it. Radiator, air filters, inside the cab, it tells you how to put all that together. Seems quite comprehensive, seems quite easy to follow, and it seems to have an awful lot of parts to make one wheel up as well. The tyre seems to come in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. That's interesting. We'll see how we go. And the rear, that's the front tyres, and the rear tyres come in 3 pieces. Yeah, interesting, but there you go. The back tyres, of course, would carry a lot more weight than the front tyres, and looking at that, it's quite a long wheelbase for a tractor unit, and I'm guessing that's to put a crew cab on there. What else is there? It's dead straightforward, that, isn't it? There you go, and that brings you to the end of it. Bit of PE to put together, to put on the side there, like a, I don't know what it is, a step, a toolbox. It looks more like a toolbox than a step. And then of course your sprues. I always check them. Yeah, I've never found anything wrong with them, but I always check them to make sure I've got all the sprues. When you see videos of the factories where they build these things, they don't have to come off the production line, and somebody's actually putting these sprues into plastic bags and then making sure that they all go into the right kit. I think it would be quite easy to make a mistake, but hey, who knows. So it gives you a list of the sprues, and as I say, I always give them a check before I put them together, before I start putting the truck together. Another set of instructions, that's only for the tractor unit, that first set. Another set of instructions, pretty much the same, telling you how to put the trailer together. It's all fitting on the video there? Yeah, of course it is. And again, it looks dead simple, looks really simple to put together. Quite a complex rocker axle there, that's what we used to call them. I don't know if there's a particular name for them, but they rock like that so that it goes over most terrain. You can get they're very clever. Yeah, putting the ramps together for the rear, putting the hitch and winch wheels at the front there. Again, more bits and pieces to go on. A jack underneath that folds up, you can put it either way, and I'm guessing that is to lift the trailer. If you decided that you needed to get the trailer off it, that would lift it up to get it off. Bit of PE to form the toolboxes underneath. It looks like a wooden toolbox underneath there. And then it's mainly about the ramps and the geometry of the ramps and the diagrams for the cables. If you're interested in this, if you look for this truck on YouTube, a Scammell Pioneer with a tank transporter trailer, there are some really interesting British Army training videos of this vehicle, and you get a lot of detail as well on them. That's easy enough, and then it's on to the number of sprues, and again a bit of roping there. Now the cables for the back for the winching, so no doubt it will all become clear at the end. You've got your sprues on there. As I say, I'm not sure where 600 plus parts comes in. It doesn't look that there's that many, does it? But there you go. So that's the 2 instructions, and as I say, you look fairly clear and precise. We'll find out. The main thing is when the plastic goes together, isn't it? I mean, give me a knife. Where's a knife? There we go. So we can cut a couple of these off. Lots of plastic in there. Look at that, that's a full box of plastic. You don't often see that, do you? So there could well be 600. And as I say, some poor schmuck has to put all these in and then seal it. The way they seal them, you know, I know this because I once worked in a factory when I was about 17, and I must have been just over 17 and first started driving, and the job entailed loading the truck and then doing deliveries for about 3 days. But 2 days a week you were in a factory, and the factory made little coils of wire and put them in plastic bags, and for 2 days a week I was supposed to put this in a machine that came down and sealed the end of it, little bar across the end, and take it out, put it in a bin and get another one. Doing that for 2 days would have killed me, and I thought I can get a better job than this, so I did. So I never actually got to drive the truck. I'm just whittering on there, aren't I? That's the trailer, the sides of the trailer chassis. The plastic seems a bit rubbery, but we'll have a look. Oops, I've lost my knife. Let's have a look what's in here. A clever man would have used a sharper knife or put a new blade in there, but I didn't. There we go. It is a bit flexible, that. The whole thing flexes, doesn't it? So whether that will all stiffen up as time goes by and put the bits and pieces together, who knows? Hopefully it will do. And it sounds soft. It doesn't have a whack, a crack as you hit it with something. So yeah, a bit soft, but hey, that doesn't really matter. As long as it holds together and holds everything together. So we've got all of that. I think I've mentioned before, I number. So when I get a sprue, I can't find the sprue number on this. That's an L, sprue number L. So what I'll do is I'll tidy up the top of the bag and I'll write a big L on it in with a marker pen, and then it goes into here, which then goes over into the corner of my workstation. And as I'm working through the instructions, I obviously put them in alphabetical order, and as I go through the instructions and pull pieces out, then it's easy to find. You're not scrabbling around looking for stuff. Well, that one's sealed a lot better. That's got a big flap on the end of it. Right, more bits of plastic. Again, really feels really quite soft and flexible, but I'm sure it will all go together. It looks all nice and neat. It doesn't look as though it's full of flash. It looks really quite sharp. Let's open this one. I haven't got much room here, have I? I don't think I've got enough room. There we go. No, it doesn't look as though there's any flash on that at all to me, to be honest. A little tiny bit on that one, I don't know if you can see it. Just a little tiny bit there. Well, that will come off really very easily, and it's gone. No, I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, very, very happy with that. That should go together nicely. But, I've said this before, haven't I? We'll find out. And again, more plastic. That's bits of the cab, I think, and as you can see on there, I'll open that up so you can see it. Take it out. And as you can see, the floor of the cab there is grained. That's wooden floors. You wouldn't believe it in a heavy wagon, would you? But there you go, wooden floors. Thankfully they don't have them anymore. And monocoque cabs with steel floors, and if you jackknife them, it knocks the cab off instead of killing you. Great idea. Any of you that have driven a wagon know about that. You see it very often, see a jackknife Scania with the cab sitting in the middle of a motorway, highway as you call it in some parts of the world. Mud guards for the front, loads of little bits, looks like a radiator, a couple of bits of the bottom half of the engine. Fantastic, loads of stuff there, loads of plastic. I'm not going to go through each and every one, there's parts, I would say there are 600 parts. Loads and loads of them that are duplicates, and obviously a lot of it's got a lot of wheels and axles that have the same sort of thing on them, doesn't it? Another two there, lots of very delicate stuff on that one. Who knows? That's probably a gear lever, back of a gearbox, part of a winch. Put a couple of pulleys there for the winch. Loads of stuff. I'm digging in to see where the PE is and stuff like that. That looks like a bell housing, but I could be totally wrong. Yeah. Got more big sprues. I'm guessing I could build this as two models. I could build it as the tractor and then the trailer, so that it gives you a bit more room to work, doesn't it? I know you can buy them separately, but everywhere, for a long time I looked at this to find one of these where it was that I could buy the two parts together, and very often I could find the tractor unit and very often I could find the trailer, but it was difficult to find the two together. There are lots of wheel parts on that one, or bits of wheels. That'll be interesting. Here we go. Bit of glass. Doesn't look as clear as it could be. Might be this plastic. Oh no, it's crystal clear. That's lovely. Yeah. There's not a lot of glass in this truck. There's rolled up canvas, looking at the diagrams, for the side windows. Quite a lot of PE there. If you don't like PE, you're not going to like this kit. Personally, I quite like it. Load of rope there, and that one looks suspiciously like a winch cable. Bit of copper wire. Yeah, I'll probably replace some of that with more realistic looking stuff. One of the things I use for the winch cables on a couple of the other vehicles that I've built is 1mm, and it's actually picture rail, picture wire they call it, and it works perfectly for this sort of stuff. So if you've got a little bit in there that looks quite similar, can you see that? Yeah. But this looks the business, and when you get a bit of rusty paint on it, it really does look the business, and it's dirt cheap. I don't know how much is on there, 10 meters maybe, much more than you need for a kit, and it costs next to nothing. Well, we got some transfers. Oh, I thought we had transfers for the whole thing. Ah, yes we have. And there's not many. There's a British roundel that goes on the top of one of them that we saw, a couple of markings. That's about it really. The US markings, there's more of those than there is the British ones, but there you go. So that's that. Is there any more on there? No, just one, just that one pad. A little bit of PE. The fan is PE. When you put that on, you need to twist the blades, I would imagine. And as I say, if you hate PE, oh, the dashboard's PE. Look at that. Can you see that? There's a glare. I'm next to the window. There's a glare from the window, isn't there? Can you see that? Right where my thumb is. The dashboard with a couple of dials on it, and a little bit of self-assembly PE there for the crates and the things that are underneath, toolboxes and the like. I personally like it. I enjoy putting it together. I know other people hate it. There's another piece that's just appeared from somewhere, fallen out somewhere, little tiny piece. I have no idea what it is, and I would imagine that they are individual pieces all down the middle there. Fantastic. We'll enjoy putting that together. That is about it. there's not much more I can say about it. I'm going to have to put all this away now, but as soon as I can find out where I got it from, that's what you get. It was the best part of £100. Personally, for the amount of stuff that you get, I think it's quite worth it. For the quality that it appears to be, I think it's quite worth it. But as I say, the proof's in the pudding, isn't it? And it's when I put it together, if it all goes together nicely. I will start doing this one in the near future. I have a couple of trucks that I need to do. I need to finish this one. Some of you have seen the video of it. Little truck there. That's a dinky toy. It's loaded now. That needs painting, recoating, second coating. There's another one up here that needs finishing, and another one here that needs finishing. So when those three are finished, I will start on this Scammell. Any questions, any comments? Love to hear them. If you could put them in the comments section in the, below. It would be great if you could like and subscribe, and if you would, to share the video. And I'll speak to you next time. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks for your time. Ta-da!